on Sunday, and John Murphy from the United Healthcare team in second place after the time trial. That bodes well for his chances in the overall standings.
Bob, I heard Carl Menzies, who's won the jersey in 2009, had it in 2010, in 2011, and couldn't keep it, say, we don't really want the jersey. So they are really in the catbird seat. They don't have to work tomorrow.
Well, they don't necessarily have the burden of keeping the race leadership, but they do have to do some work. They do need to do some lead-outs. Menzies himself finishing in the top 10, just about 10 seconds slower than Chad Haga. So a great ride by Carl Menzies. United Healthcare has come ready to race also. It's going to be a great battle throughout the rest of the racing.
Absolutely. We have 20 riders still in contention. Stay tuned for day 2, the road race on the men's side of the Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove.
The Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove is brought to you by ComEd, by AXA Equitable, Woodfield Chicago Northwest Convention Bureau, Comcast, and Prologis.
The 8th annual Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove rolls on with the Prologis Pro Road Race. And Bob, Stage 1, the time trial, didn't select out many riders. A lot of options still.
Yes, absolutely. 20 men within striking distance of the lead of Chad Haga from the Optum squad. A lot of time up for grabs also. 10 seconds on the finish line. 3 sprints that give 3 seconds time bonus on each one of those, so 19 seconds. So we still have a lot of riders in contention. Optum's lead, most certainly not secure at this point. A very tight general battle after the time trial.
Absolutely. Last year we saw Spider Tech do just that. They managed time in the Stage 2 and Stage 3 very well. There are 7 of the 9 teams that still have multiple riders in that top 20. Who should we be looking at?
Well, John Murphy in second place on the same second as Chad Haga, one of the best sprinters in North America and the world. Watch for him to look for those time bonuses. If he gets any of them, and Chad does not get any, he will take over the lead. So United Healthcare is going to be queued up and see what Optum is going to be able to do to defend the lead of Chad Haga.
What about our friends across the pond, Cannondale?
Oh, Cannondale has a great sprinter in their ranks. Elia Viviani, one of the fastest men in the world, has come here for stage race results, for stage wins. He did 8th in the time trial, which is a fantastic result for Viviani. So if he's riding that well in the time trial, I'm sure he's going to be sprinting very well also. He's come for stage wins, but he might get the overall also. He's only 8 seconds behind the race lead. So watch for the Cannondale team to be working for Viviani throughout the day.
So Bob, the last most important story maybe is not an athlete, it's the course.
97 miles, 155 kilometers, 26 corners per lap, 10 laps, 260 prodigious jumps. Let's take a look at what the riders can expect on stage number 2's profile.
The finish line remains the same all weekend, but the course changes for each stage. It's the second day of the 3-day stage race at the Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove. And on today's menu, a big helping of road race. The terrain here in Illinois isn't challenging. No big climbs to grind up. So this road race makes up for it with lots of turns. This 9.7-mile course has 26 45-degree turns. That's 26 jumps out of the saddle to maintain speed and open up gaps. While traveling in a tight pack of 60 other riders, they'll be banging handlebar tape. A few long stretches around the neighborhood perimeter give a little mental break before the peloton dives back into the neighborhoods. There's one official feeding station, which is only open for a certain time period during the race. Riders can also get fresh water bottles, mechanical support, and strategic help from the caravan of team vehicles following them. Riders will complete 10 laps for a total of 97 miles. Let's go to the start line. The top men have been rolled up to the front and introduced to the spectators, with the yellow jersey wearing Chad Haga introduced last. Everyone in this group is here with a game plan to win, much of it revolving around team strategy. Riders in the top 20 of the time trial will be chasing sprint bonus points to increase their chances of moving up in the overall GC standings. Bonus points come from the top 3 finishers of the stage, as well as from the winning designated sprint laps during the race. These precious seconds can turn the standings upside down. 19 bonus seconds are up for grabs today. It's possible to win the overall championship without ever winning an individual stage. That's what Francois Parisien did in 2012 to win the overall GC title. Parisien put in a great time trial and was 4 seconds behind the top time trial finisher, Tom Zerbel. To make up those 4 seconds, Parisian made sure he was in position to win the mid-race sprint points every time they were being contested, and he gained 5 seconds, enough to put him ahead of Zerbel by 1 point. Parisian had seized the GC lead. Going into Sunday's circuit race, he knew his 1 second lead was tenuous. He was only able to pick up 1 bonus point on a sprint, but his teammates had his back. Team SpiderTech worked hard to claim the interim sprint point, so other teams and top riders couldn't pass Parisian. That's how he won the overall lead without standing on the top spot of the podium even once. So who will be looking for time in this race? There are 20 riders within 20 seconds of Haga. Any of them could be a threat for those bonuses. That includes United Healthcare's John Murphy and Carl Menzies, and Cannondale's Ilya Viviani. With 3 Optum riders in the top 4, it will be a team decision who they'll be riding for. And Optum's GC contender could change with certain race dynamics. Optum has options, but so does powerful UHC. We talked with John Murphy to find out more about United Healthcare's strategy earlier today.
So, John, in an enviable position today, you've got a really strong team in the race. You're sitting second. You don't have to defend a yellow jersey. What's the United Healthcare strategy for the day?
Yeah, you know, we at United Healthcare, we always want to win. TT, I was a little disappointed to come second, but it's so close that we are confident. We have a lot of cards to play, and yeah, we can make something happen today.
Absolutely. I think you've got 3 guys who are still alive for the GC, so if things don't work out for you, you've got other cards to play that way.
Yeah, you know, the GC here can be funny because, you know, everybody's within a minute, so one good break can turn the race upside down. So you never know.
What about Cannondale? Are they somebody that you're marking, you're thinking about, you're looking at? They seems like they could animate the race today.
Yeah, I think absolutely. They bring Viviani, who's a super fast sprinter. He's also very close in the general, so if it's bunch kick today, you know he's going to be good. And you never know. I mean, with the World Tour guys, they're always coming at a higher level. So it's good that we have them here to race with, and we plan to, you know, race hard against them.
The race is underway. The bell rang in lap 4, announcing a sprint lap, and here they come to the finish line in a powerful show of speed. It's Ilya Viviani crossing first for 3 bonus points, followed by John Murphy for 2 points, and Ryan Anderson picking up the final point. With his 2 points, Murphy has passed Chad Haga for the virtual GC race lead. He came into the stage less than 1 second behind Haga. Now he's a second ahead. Don't count out Viviani yet. He came into this race nearly 9 seconds behind the yellow jersey and has gained 3 points back on the first bonus sprint lap. He's one of the best sprinters in the world, and his 5-man crew will work hard for him today. We talked with former Tour of Elk Grove GC champ Michael Friedman earlier today about how he'll make up his 5-point deficit.
Well, our primary goal was to put as many guys in the top 15 as possible, and we got 5 guys in the top 15 and 3 in the top 4, which is a fantastic thing to do because we can just send guys up the road and not actually have to ride the front as a normal defense would normally ride. So we have the yellow jersey, but we're not going to probably defend it the way a normal team would be, just to ride the front. We're going to send guys up the road. We have the GC guys to actually do it, and if we send more guys up the road, it puts every other team on the defense. So primarily UHC is what we're trying to put on the road there.
Okay. What about Cannondale?
They're definitely a factor that we're not sure about. They have Viviani, who's a World Tour sprinter. He's shown that he can sprint with the best in the world, as evidenced at the Giro. We're not sure how they're going to ride here. This road race is typically raced more like a large criterium. A lot of corners, very technical, very fast. Undoubtedly, they can ride their bikes, but they're definitely a black horse in the sense of we're not sure how they're going to ride or what they're going to be doing. So whether they bring it down to a field sprint or we can get in a breakaway with one of the other guys, then I'm not sure. We'll see.
We're moments away from the second sprint lap being contested on the start-finish line, and there's a 2-man breakaway. Frank Taviso of Team SmartStop and Jack Jance van Rensburg of the All-African team MTM Kubeka. Optum's Eric Young and United Healthcare's Ildo Ilisic are at the front of a screaming field sprint for the final point, and Young takes it. Meanwhile, there's an increasing gap between Treviso, van Rensburg, and the field. Can it stick? More action from the 2013 Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove when we return. The Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove is brought to you by ComEd, by AXA Equitable, Woodfield Chicago Northwest Convention Bureau, Comcast, and Prologis. There's still a two-man breakaway up the road, and at one point, they were a minute and a half up on the field. Now, with 2 laps to go, they are less than a minute ahead. At the last points lap, Treviso and Van Rensburg took the top bonus points, while Canadian Michael Chauner of Equipe Garneau took the final point. We're in the second to last lap of the race, and the Cannondale team is up front managing the race in peloton. Cannondale is the most seasoned team on the road today, but is outgunned with just 6 men. Other teams, including United Healthcare and Optum, have a full roster of 8 riders. We asked Ilya Viviani about his team's approach to this event.
Tell me about what Cannondale wants to do on the road stage today.
Yeah, I think this is normal, because the Team Canada is the one team pro tour, and I am a big sprinter in Europe, and when I come in USA, sure the other team look for big team, We are here only 6 riders, but I think I have a good team, because Guillaume Boivin is a very so strong sprinter, and helped me in today's stage and tomorrow. But yesterday I think is a good prologue for me, because only 8 seconds to the first to the winner, and I hope to in these 2 days take the gap, this 8 seconds in the intermediate sprint or in the final sprint. But I think the team is here for one stage win. After, if the general classification arrive, is okay, but it's important to win one stage here.
We're getting close to the final lap of the race. The breakaway was swallowed up by the peloton at some point on the second to last lap. Teams are beginning to ride side by side, putting their trains in place. Mike Tomeo, general manager of UHC, tells us what's going on.
Here we are prior to stage 2, and in 2010, Carl Menzies had the yellow jersey, and a break got away from United Healthcare. You find yourself in a really good spot with John right now. What are you telling your team about day 2 of the Tour of Elk Grove?
Well, the first thing we talked about was the fact that historically this is, it doesn't seem like it's a hard course to ride on because it's flat, but there's so many corners, it's actually heavy on your legs. And it is a hard race to defend today. And so, we're not in that position to have to do it, and we have had it slip away from us before. And so we know that an aggressive race is not a bad thing, and we're looking forward to it.
So somebody else gets to do the work, but that doesn't mean you can kind of totally sit in either.
No, but definitely, it's the kind of race where if you sit back and you wait, what ends up happening is usually gets away from you.
The men are down to the final miles of the race. Real estate at the front of the race is scarce. Too many teams want to occupy too little road. At the beginning of the lap, it was Optum's train up in front. With 5 miles to go, Jelly Belly is working to the front as well. A bit more than a mile remaining, and UHC's team is rolling to the front, ready to launch Johnny Murphy. After 3 hours and 25 minutes and almost 260 turns on the residential roads of Elk Grove Village, with an average speed of 28 miles per hour, it comes down to an all-out field sprint between Ilya Viviani, Ryan Anderson, and John Murphy. And that's the way they finish. Ilya Viviani wins the road race, Ryan Anderson takes second place, and John Murphy takes third. MTM Kubeka's team is in fourth. Pyric Nod of Equipe Garneau is fifth.
First and foremost, congratulations on the race win. That was a phenomenal sprint. Take me through the last couple of kilometers and how you set this up.
But I think the last laps, I have more pain serious because 20 rider in the front, and I think it's not finishing the sprint, but the team work very, very good. It's only 6 rider, and it's very difficult to control a long stage in a circuit. So, but I think I asked with my teammate, the team take me in the sprint, and for me is the perfect condition. And the last turn, I have two riders, Koch and Boyven, and it's perfect. I take the Murphy wheel, and at 200 meters I go to my sprint, and okay, it's very, very good. I'm very, very happy for this victory, for the Cannondale, for the SRAM, the big sponsor this team, and thanks to everybody, to the team Cannondale.
You took some points early on in the sprints, and that seemed to go well for you. You're 3 seconds out right now. Optum, the Cannondale team, United Healthcare are all right there, and it's going to be winner take all tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a battle. You know, I think we'll try to do the same thing, but hopefully I can do one better and, you know, be at the top tomorrow.
In the middle of the race, Optum had a couple of riders out front. There was Eric Young and Mike Friedman. And then did they get called off? Did they stand down so that you guys could put it into the end of the race?
Yeah, we thought that was just going to be a bit of a waste of energy. You know, it was good. You know, we wanted to see how the intermediate sprints would go for those guys, but we just decided to, you know, keep the team together for the finish and see how we went.
Any initial thoughts about what you're going to have to do tomorrow against a very, very fast Italian sprinter?
Yeah, tomorrow it'll be tricky. You'll have to, you know, definitely think about it and just try to, I think, race.